Hi there and hello everybody. Welcome back to Love and Action Network's Daily Boost. I am the perfectly imperfect Dr. Flo coming to you on a Sunday night, rooted and grounded in who I am and what I have to share with all of you all tonight. We're joined, of course, as always, by the wonderful Tara Priolo Studio, who y'all know us. We have nothing to prove, nothing to protect, nothing to hide, and nothing to defend. It's very clear that as you get to know us better in this metaverse and the work that we're doing, and apparently tonight we're watching How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I just saw it added to the Discord server. So if you're in our VIP Discord server, all right, just know that you're getting up to the minute updates about where we are. If we had linguine and we're farting it, you know it. In fact, I think there's something burning on the stove.
It also notifies when events are canceled, which I did notice that an event was canceled this morning, as well as 27 future occurrences, the Discord channel told me. If you're interested in joining the Discord server, I believe we're going to be changing a couple things around on the website again, but you can join by clicking on communication channels on the current website at lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link. You can also, if you're like, I don't know what Discord is, I don't know, you can go visit our events calendar at the same website and see what we're working with. But we do most of our watch parties over in Breakout Room 1 on the Discord server. So if you're interested in seeing our faces, that's where you got to go. And I told you how to get there. It's not hard.
It is so easy to be in community with us. In fact, our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate, Marion Ann Williamson would say. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that mostly frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You're a child of higher power. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of higher power that is witnessed and that is within us. I'm trying to take out the odd word and say higher power because everyone doesn't believe in odd. Odd doesn't believe in everyone.
That's true.
It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we are unconsciously giving other people permission to do the same. And as we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. One more. That's Marianne Williamson's Our Greatest Fear, by the way, you guys, a former presidential candidate nominee in Cuckoo. But I loved her work in New York, and I would go and give her donation based things. It was very healing for me. While the beliefs are radical, I believe her heart is in the right place, as well meaning as a white lady can be. Anyway, Invictus. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I think whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I'm not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. That's Invictus. What did you bring today?
I brought a We the Urban that I didn't get to read last week. So it says to those who have had a hard year, because it's whatever month it's December. I was going to say July. That didn't make sense. Um,
Christmas in July.
Christmas in July, and this was written by Willie Green, who is actually the owner of the account, which I've actually never seen them do before until the book came out, and now they seem to tag. I think they went back and did that. I don't know. He must be doing something with his account. Anyway, needless to say, to those who have had a hard year, some days you're healing, some days you're feeling, some days you're thriving, some days you're surviving. All are valid. Give yourself grace. Breathe. You haven't met all of you yet. There is so much more life to live. It's okay to admit that it hurt you. It is not shameful to mourn. It is not shameful to feel deeply. It is not shameful to be disappointed. It is not shameful to need time to heal. Don't forget how loved you are. Don't forget how talented you are. Don't forget how capable you are. Don't forget how special you are. Don't forget how worthy you are. Don't forget how powerful you are. Don't forget how inspiring you are. Don't forget how unstoppable you are. Don't forget how resilient you are. Don't forget how boundless you are. Don't forget how needed you are. Don't forget how extraordinary you are. You are never too old to start again. You're never too old to follow your dreams. You're never too old to switch directions. And you're never too old to learn something new. Before you knew them, you didn't. This is just one chapter in your life story. You're going to be okay. More than okay. Adopting healthier habits is a process. Be patient with yourself, forgive yourself for your moments of regression, and try your best to stay present. Less focusing on what could go wrong, more anticipating what will go right. How liberating it is to view your flaws as actions, not your identity. It's possible to make meaningful changes without diminishing your self-worth. Say it with me. In 2025, I'm unlocking profound levels of peace, progress, and joy I didn't even know possible by any and all means necessary. And the last slide is, it won't feel this heavy forever. You put on a jacket.
I did. We've Poppy Water. We're very grateful for where we live. Also, it also feels like glamping. The windows aren't quite insulated and the walls are thin, so if the heat goes off, you're basically in a wonderful, glorious. We are grateful for the tent, and so it was doing that type of situation. What was your last thought? What was the thought before my glamping?
The last slide was, it won't feel this heavy forever.
It won't. It won't feel this heavy forever. I'm very grateful for that. This reminds me of what we were talking about in Deconstruction Junction a couple weeks ago with that poem or that piece about life being temporary. None of this shit's forever. That's the good news and the bad news. Like, you're not going to live forever. So if there's something that you want to really do for yourself or something you want to experience, if it's crab legs like Tara and things like that, go for it. Yum, yum. Because YOLO, and like I have always said on lives, it makes people very uncomfortable. None of my people who I loved on this earth in my life of 40 years young have come back to tell me that there's something else on the other side for real, for real. So I'm enjoying my fermented grape juice tonight with you all, and my hippie lettuce, and any other thing, my great sex, my great food, and my great adventures, because it's a one shot wonder type of journey for me. And I'm grateful that a young lady 900 miles away chooses to entertain fluffy kitties and feed them and cry and to just try to make sense of what life is in community. It's the one thing that people crave and long for, and yet they just won't allow. Same thing with this love experience thing that we've been working on within the network. Like, there's a love revival and a love parade and a parade of hope trying to break out in the hearts of every human on the planet. There's a more positive message trying to come through, and we're the only ones standing in its way. We'd rather focus on the bullshit. I can't make sense of it, folks. But here we are. Anyway, it's my job to move us forward. Tara always says, flow is great, but what about that forward flow? I am going to go back though, to round out perspective, which was week 49 in our network. We have themes of the day and themes of the week to keep us on the rails. We are not an ADHD averse organization. Everybody in leadership in this motherfucker has ADHD and or loves fermented grape juice or hippie lettuce. So things just kind of can get really, really conflated and crazy and loved and lovable if we don't focus. And so last week's focus was all about what it means to have perspective in life. And then we're going to move forward with Tara into week 50 because we're almost out of this year. And she'll tell you when it's appropriate what the theme is. I'm going to do day 7 because I was not here yesterday. Yesterday was for cuddling and anime with the black boy joy that y'all all know, who we call Poppy Water. Poppy Water and I are choosing daily to embrace black boy joy and to embrace each other. And that happens when you all aren't around. And that's the stuff that's been healing 40 years of my bullshit. So on the days when I'm not here with you all on lives and things, it's probably me loving on myself or being loved. And as it relates to perspective, that's great. It's really good for me. If you've ever known true love in your life from a spouse, from a partner, from a child, from a parent, from a stranger, you'll know that just taking those times to just turn everything off and just to be cuddled and to watch the anime is really the stuff that life is all about. Not making money, not having degrees, not being seen, not being booked and blessed, all these wonderful things we call success, but just being embraced. What a gift. So anyway, we'll go forward. We love ourselves here, which makes it really, really easy to be here. Day 7 of last week. It's already over. I shouldn't even be talking about it, but I have to. Blow it up. Way out of proportion. Now shrink it down until it's tiny size. See how it's going to look in 6 months or a year from now. We don't have to wait for life to bring things into perspective. Stretch that imagination. Oh my gosh. What a word that Tara, like, do the people even fucking have imagination? Can they see anything outside of this fuck shit? Pardon me, y'all, and the hippie lettuce. Can y'all see anything? Anyway, let me get back to the text. Stretch that imagination. Bring some perspective into the situation right now. Let me pray over the fuck shit. Help me remember. We're getting canceled again. And it's happening tonight. Pepper Priolo. We're getting canceled again. And it's happening tonight. You never had a friend like me. We're going to pray over the fuck shit. Because it's just that real. Like, Tara, it's just that real. I cried with you and a cat last night.
That I'm so happy ended up back outside. I literally woke up thinking about it.
I cuddled him again tonight while listening to Whitney Houston.
Oh Lord!
It's the little things. I don't know about y'all. Like I could weep again. Cuddling a cat while listening to Whitney Houston has to be like the best thing in my life, because what else are we fighting each other for? And what else are we like? We've gotten so far off, Tara. This is not Deconstruction Junction. We've gotten so far off from the fact that we have humans in our lives that care about us, that we have food and coffee and water and friends that care that we're alive on Sunday, December the 8th. Somebody gives a fuck about you today as bombs fall in Gaza.
Still,
I will be nothing less than grateful. I will be nothing less than grateful. And people can come and go and pass through or out or wherever. I'll be nothing less than grateful because I have you and you have me. And we're walking each other home. have enough perspective as we close out last week. I have enough perspective to know that I don't have all the answers. I don't know all the answers. You and I saw a piece of art last night that flipped our perspective. I was like, last night after watching that horrific piece that I shared with you horrifically, I was like, what do I even know about life anymore?
Nothing, girl.
And the feelings of people, Tara. And the feelings of people. Sorry. Not sorry. And now we're going to the space where AI, people are clapping for a AI version of me that doesn't exist. You know, I talked last week about like the dead lady Louise Hay, who I loved, whose book changed my life. But her company has a marketing budget, which we're raising in Love and Action Network, everybody. But her company has a marketing budget. The dead lady gets more comments and more engagement than I do because her company has a marketing budget and they're making money off of her dead ass. And I'm here trying to get fries at Food Lion. Thank you, and thank Loretta,
Thank you,
and thank
Loretta.
Pop.
Thank you, Loretta. Thank you, Poppy.
So I just like, how are dead people making more money and getting more engagement than us? So I'm having to like distill everything down to the simplest of gratitude. Some of y'all join us every morning over coffee and pour overs for affirmation. That is a way that we anchor and ground to just be okay just for today. And I want to encourage you to come to Emotions Not Anonymous. Emotions Anonymous is a program that people do where they want to be very quiet about the fact that they're dealing and healing with their emotions. I'm starting Emotions Not Anonymous where we're coming into these spaces over coffee to just say like, yo, I did not sleep great because the heat in my house was high. I didn't sleep great because my partner snores. That's not my life. That's just somebody's life. I saw somebody complain about that today on the internet that their partner snores, and it's very disruptive to the peace of a REM state. But we can come together and just be together and heal and work just for today. Anyway, the prayer is help me remember that everything looks better when I trust myself. Help me remember that everything looks better when I trust myself. Remind me there's a larger story being told than the tiny part I can see now. One more time, y'all. Help me remember that everything looks better when I trust myself. Remind me there's a larger story being told than the tiny part I can see now. And we're going to get on Friday to third eye chakra, I see energy, where Tara and I, as a community, and Poppy Water and Love and Action Network, all of you as a community, we don't pretend. Some of y'all are professionals at pretending to not see what you actually see. The mom last night in that piece intentionally did not want to see. I don't want to be one of those people, Tara, that does not
Absolutely.
see harm and hear the screaming out of the tub and out of Gaza. It is real for me. And I'm using my perspective in a positive way. I'm going to calm down. But I'm going to use we're going to protect the peace of ourselves. There are people who do not like our perspective and do not like our peace. We will protect it. And I will be reminded that there's a larger story being told than the tiny part that I see. There are people who are going to bed in the world hungry. And because I'm eating, I feel like I have a responsibility, which we've talked about here. It is the ability to respond. If the responsibility for you adults out here, I'm a fucking adult. Responsibility is having the ability to respond, not react impulsively, but to respond to the harm you see. and the abuses of people who have money. They're at dinner, they're eating their escargot, and they still don't care about us and our universal health care and our ability to just have mushrooms and squash. And even if you're growing your own, because Tara's the only one who will live in apocalypse here. All you motherfuckers talk your shit, and y'all are so grown or what have you. I've watched her for 3 years grow squash and zucchini. When the fucking aliens arrive and the Russians come, that bitch is going to eat. We're not going to eat.
True.
Tara knows how to fucking grow seeds out the ground.
I
We
do.
need, we need each other, you guys. We really do. Because I can't grow a zucchini. I talk a lot of shit about Broadway and how great my voice is, and you're loved and lovable, loved and lovable, loved and lovable. But when it comes time for me to grow a zucchini out the ground after the nuclear apocalypse, because these bitches are crazy, Tara can grow a zucchini out the ground, and it's big enough to turn you on.
They're large. Actually, they're in the freezer right now. So, in case that's
Dick so big you had to freeze it.
right.
What's the theme of the next week? I love you.
Week 50. Week 50, y'all, is compassion. Now, some of y'all, I remember this week. And would you like to know why I remember this week? Is because in the second sentence, is it the second sentence? Yes. No. Third sentence of day one is Nick Hole. Nicole. But I think because it's spelled Nichole, I say Nick Hole. So just, bear with us. I'm gonna read this. Should be a pretty easy week. I feel like the end of the year is a little bit like the first part of the year is like dicey. And then the end of the year, she's like, we're just gonna let you slide. Here
Do
we
you
go.
want to stay? Oh, wait, pause. Because we have emergent strategy here, which is another text that we use in Love and Action Network. And we're building this. Tara and I have been together for 3 years, over 900 miles. Y'all who think you're closer to us in energy or proximity don't know about real love. Like we are the epitome of long distance relationship and work. Like we've met Tara and I, for y'all who've been watching us for over 56 weeks. For those of you who've been watching us for over 56 weeks and watching us for over 3 years, we are internet strangers. Her husband initially, before there was even a baby in sight, called us internet friends. We are not real. And yet we have figured out how to manifest 56 plus weeks of engaging and inspirational content for more strangers. Don't doubt yourself. Ever. Really, really.
Truly.
I met
Speak
Tara in the
actions, not
middle of the
doubt.
night 3 years ago, and day in and day out, we're like, how can we connect these opera singers with their joy? How can we connect these Black people with their freedom? How can we connect these white people to their freedom? How can we release the entanglements? How can we warm them up to their ideas and their imagination and their dreams? Like, y'all think Tara's warm up for vocal me, my, mamo, moo is something. Just wait till she like encourages you and warms up your dream and gives you a different perspective on who you are. And y'all are so committed to talking about the stuff that does not actually matter. But every day we're logging online to talk about the shit that will get you through the next 24 hours. I cannot promise y'all 24 years of anything.
Child, no.
Are y'all watching the news? Are y'all paying attention to Blue Sky and X and Threads? Like, if the people are whispering, it's very weird out here. But we're trying to come every day to offer a vibration that's hopeful so that you can gain some perspective and some compassion. And we're gaining it for each other. Y'all watch Tara and I fight in public. Y'all have watched us actually do the work. We're not always going to be able to go, fuck you, Republicans, fuck you, Democrats, fuck you, white people, fuck you, like the day. Are y'all not seeing that the days are over of people being able to ignore? Are y'all not seeing CEOs having to answer? We're having to answer very publicly for the reality. Gone are the days of our parents of saying that things didn't happen. I'm here, Tara, because of what we watched last night. Give me 15 seconds to cook. Gone are the days of our parents telling us that we didn't experience the abuses we experienced. Gone are the days of our parents asking us to not be angry when we're angry about what's happening to us. Gone are the days. Gone are the days. What's crazy, folks, is that we are the adults now. It ran up on me. I'm 40 fucking years old, and Tara would be quick to remind you that in a few months I'm gonna be 41. Where did the last 20 years go? And while we are so proud of our accomplishments and all that we've achieved, we still don't have what we need for our kids. And by our kids, I'm talking about your kids, because butt babies don't live. And I'm a homosexual. So when I'm talking about the children of the future, I'm talking about Tara's kids. I'm talking about y'all's kids. Like, what do y'all want for the future of your kids? What do you want? As she goes to tend to hers. It's raw and real in here tonight. She'll be back. Week 50. Compassion. If y'all don't see that life is happening in real time, I don't know what to tell you. Day 1. The author says, I met one of my friends at an odd time in my life. I had just moved to California from Minnesota. That's where Tara's from.
Well, he's straight up went on mute, y'all.
Line. I just moved. Where am I? I just moved from California to Minnesota.
Yes, I was in the early years of my grief after the death of my son, Shane. My daughter, Nicole, had turned 18. She was moving to New York. I had a lot of change going on. I knew who I had been and what my life was like, but I didn't know what it was going to become. My friend was in a transition period in his life, too. He'd mentioned bits and pieces of the changes he had gone through. A marriage that hadn't worked out, getting stuck alone in what he thought was going to be the home of his dreams. He was uncertain of where he fit and where he belonged. We had a lot of good times together during those transition years, just hanging out with each other and our other friends. We sensed all these things about each other, that the other person was going through grief, loss, change, and had a lot of uncertainty going on. But it wasn't until years later that we really understood. We were having lunch together. By then, he had remarried and had his first child. I had adjusted to Shane being gone and to Nicole being married and having children of her own.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. I got you. Yeah. This is so funny. This is so meta too. The fact that it's because when you first read about Nicole, you didn't have a child of your own, and now you've got a child yelling in the background. I'm picking up. I love you. By then, he had remarried and had his first child, just like Priolo. I had adjusted to Shane being gone and to Nicole being married and having children of her own. We were both on more solid ground. I never really understood how much pain you were in then, he said. I watched you go about your life. I'd heard you talk about parts of what you've been through, but I didn't understand the way I do now. Ditto, I said. When you talked about your divorce and the things going on in your life, I understood intellectually that you had been through a lot of trauma and change, but I didn't understand, not really, what a hard time that was in your life. And I want to anchor this, y'all, that are here tonight, because we can. Once again, I'm gonna read it as it is. I understood intellectually that you had been through a lot of trauma and change, but I didn't understand not really what a hard time that was in your life. I'm not finished today. I want to anchor that because sometimes you really don't understand how hard it is for the individual. Sure, you're outside looking in and you hear the crying baby, or you see the person's friend die, or you see the hardship of life, and you're like, yo, like we all go through tough shit, but at times we don't really understand what a hard time a person is actually having. Sometimes when we meet other people, and even after we've gotten to know them, all we see is the tip of the iceberg when we look at their lives. This, we don't understand the things that are driving them, the unresolved issues from their past, and the depth of pain that they're in now. We don't want to have so much compassion that we enable others to hurt themselves or trot down the wrong path, and we don't want to over understand, which is understanding the other person so much we don't take care of or understand ourselves. But it doesn't hurt to look a little deeper after first glance. The value that we're installing this week is that having healthy compassion for other people and ourselves is very, very important. And what's been so crazy, y'all have watched Priolo and I evolve on camera. Most people are trying to only show you the Instagram version of their lives. Anybody, y'all, can come on YouTube and Facebook and show you what's savory. But what happens when your kid's having a meltdown? What's happening when your partner and you are just not on the same page that day? You know, and this is life. This is life. A lot of us have tried to play it to the cameras and the TV and the followers, but what I love about Love in Action Network is that it is these are progressive nouns. The love is in action. It's moving forward. It's happening at 8:37 local in my time zone and 7:37 in Terrace. And if you ever doubted that a human or that a group of humans could come together and create something beautiful out of thin air, you witnessed it tonight. And when the kids go crazy and the husbands go crazy and you're hungry for food and you are on the hippie lettuce and the jungle juice, you will have community if you want it. And that's where I'm gonna land tonight in the I am. Oh, we haven't not completed our questions, but I'm gonna land this here because it's been 33 minutes. Sundays in our network are root chakra days. This is something that predates the Bible and predates all of these texts that y'all love. This is ancient wisdom, the chakra system. It is an alignment and an energetic highway. We start every Sunday with the mantra, I am. We move up on Monday into I feel. Then we move up on Tuesdays into I do. I do. I'm doing it. I'm just doing it a little slow because I told y'all about the hippie lettuce and the fermented juice. And then we move on Wednesdays, Tara and I in the network, into I love in our hearts. Then, because ain't nobody shutting us up, Tara's gone through a lot of crazy shit that she can reveal to you at her appointed time in her life. And I've gone through a lot of crazy shit in my life. I'm sorry. Prepare to be sick of us. Y'all are not going to shut up Priolo on my watch. And you're not going to shut up me on Priolo's watch. And so on Thursdays, we move into I Speak, the throat chakra day. It's Thursday. Every Thursday, whether Priolo's talking or I'm talking, We're talking. And then on Friday, third eye chakra, the power of three. The third eye, the power of three is that you have two eyes and you have your third eye. Those three eyes in that triangle, the power of three will set us free. Don't pretend that your mind's eye and your real eyes are not seeing what they see for the happiness, healthiness, and freedom of you. But every Friday, whether Priolo's in the seat or I'm in the seat, we talk about the third eye. Then on Saturday, we move into the crown chakra. I understand. We're usually wearing purple so that our Vikings can win. Skull. But we do this shit every week, y'all. And you're invited to just come along the journey for free. For free. As developed by Poppy Water and the House of Mommy Water. Shout out to our producers. So, Tara, I'm going to give you the last piece of chicken. Did you want to ask people the root chakra day questions if you have them available?
I
And
will.
then you can close it because I've cried like that uncle at Christmas. If y'all know me to know me is to love me, number one. To know me is to love me. And for those of you who know me, I am the uncle crying into the Pinot Grigio, telling you how much think. I really think that Tara is an amazing person. I would not have been in community with her. Same thing with Poppy and Angie. There's something special to the people who are near and dear, and I can't wait for the world to see their greatness as well.
Many
I'll let you get the
times.
last piece of chicken and land this one.
Yes. So, y'all, I'll ask you a couple questions and then I'm going to do some very brief announcements. Again, I just want to center here lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link for all of your needs, seeds, wants, schedules, conversations, community. It's all there. Come talk to us. Okay. Here's the questions. We're going to do trust and safety. Do I trust myself and others? How do I respond to fear and insecurity? And what practices help me feel safe and secure? This is so important when you're building out your dreams. That last question, those of you that are entrepreneurs, those of you that are creatives, those of you that are just building something, what practices help you feel safe and secure, not only physically, but also in your dreams, in your creative process online, when you're speaking, all of those places. Those questions are super, super important. Okay, so let me give you a brief rundown of what's going on all in Terra Priolo Studio and Love in Action Network with Dr. Flo and the Love Experience. Let me give you a brief. Okay, so we've got Adopt a Black Artist happening every Friday. You can nominate someone or you can simply share that information. I'm going to be working on that later tonight. Look at that little tag that like magically appeared. We're working on that later tonight once I feed my husband and the child goes to sleep and I put up the Christmas tree. I've got Winterludes happening on my page. That's 25 Days of Song. Dr. Flo will be featured along with some other folks that are new. And then we also have this Saturday is the vision board / goal getter party. I'm going to ask you the first 3 questions out of the goal getter. We're going to build some vision boards. We're going to be positive with each other. We're going to be in community with each other. We're going to dream big. And then Dr. Flo on the 23rd has a private virtual show happening thanks to Loretta, whom we love. You've heard a little bit about Loretta tonight. So that will be virtual. And I do believe that Dr. Flo can invite people. So stay tuned for that. Live chat us if you want the deets on it. And yes, the vision board party is right there. Tickets are $15 with a little tax, with a little fee on it. If you cannot afford that, we will sponsor you in. We will get you a pay what you can ticket. We have ways. Just don't hesitate to reach out to us. We want the best for you. We want you to grow. And so that's a little crash course in what's happening in Love and Action Network. In addition to, we're doing one Christmas movie a day. It's happening. I'm doing it. I will get there. It might be not scheduled until we're in Boost, but it will happen. And then we have free programming. Dr. Flo mentioned his coffee. I'm often here for Daily Boost. I'm going to try to get live a couple more times a week now that I'm not doing crazy things. But yeah, just stay tuned to the communication channels and to the schedule, as well as our Instagram pages you should be following. the following: at Andre in the Flow, at Tara Priolo Studio, and at Poppy Wata 33. And that is where you're going to get all of your information. And also, you can follow at Love and Action Network. The Instagram is a little broken on our side still, but the Facebook works just fine. So make sure you're following us on all of those things.
I mean, and we should talk about this because we don't have nothing to protect, hide, prove, defend, whatever. We're being shadow banned, folks. The truth is that when pure love shows up, like Tara is a studio owner, she is an entrepreneur. You see her screen right there. I am a teaching artist, entrepreneur, Broadway performer. But when we go out into the world and tell people they're loved and lovable, and that we've got workshops to build their resumes and workshops to nail their intro and workshops to hear them sing, the algorithm says that's not making enough money for you to be popular, so we're going to tank your shit. But we are still resilient. The internet and trying to expand and to grow is very, very real. So for those of you who are watching tonight, there's about 400 people, almost 400 people who are in our Substack and in our Spotify spaces. Just keep hanging with us, because just like Don Lemon over on TikTok and like Tara on YouTube and myself on YouTube, those of us who are elevating messages of hope, we are literally treading water because it's crazy out in these streets. Anyway, back to you, Tara. How do you want to land this?
Continue to be anti-racist, be safe, wear a mask, make good trouble, do good work. I love y'all hardcore. Continue to be anti-racist. No, not continue to be anti-racist. Why does that one always come out of my mouth? Continue to be anti-racist twice. You are loved and lovable, and nobody can change that. Joy is our revolution. Step into it, belong to it, and we will see you when we see you. Toodles. Oh, wait.